Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Warped, the completely unnecessary Star Trek podcast where we provide live audio commentary tracks to Star Trek The Next Generation episodes. My name is Matt.
I'm Sean.
I'm Jake.
Aaron.
I am Minwin.
And I'm May.
And we are watching, I don't know what, because my screen is completely black. What are we watching? The Emissary.
Watching The Emissary.
Not good.
Season 2, episode 20. Only 3 episodes left in season 2, everybody.
Hey, yes,
Almost
yes.
there.
And then another movie.
And then season 3 starts, and then the show gets good.
Yeah, it's really good. I see.
How many more Whoopi episodes in season 2? Asking for a friend.
You should know.
You're the one who has the list. You tell us.
You're on Whoopi Watch.
I'm
I
all
don't
about.
think they're in either of the last 2. I can't remember. The last episode is a clip show. So she might be in clips. I'm not sure.
Clip show? What do you mean a clip show?
Well, let's start the episode and we'll explain what a clip show is.
Flashbacks. They show flashbacks of old episodes.
Oh.
It's a cheap way to make an episode when you don't have any money, or in Star Trek's case, when you have a writer's strike. So they made an episode. They made an episode that is largely about showing scenes from earlier episodes.
Love it.
It's not very good.
No.
Sean,
I got 45:39 on the clock, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
Punch it. Punch it.
And there they are, playing poker.
Playing poker.
God damn it. My teleparty's not working again.
Mine is neither. I have to reload.
Yeah.
Just
play it.
I just manually punched my triangle.
Yeah.
Are they
Well, I'm part of the teleparty, so I'm here with you, Sean.
All right. Well, they're playing poker. That's all you really need to know. Data's wearing his funky visor.
It's dealer's visor.
Dealer's visor.
I mean, my shit's playing, but I don't know if I'm in the teleparty.
Okay, it's working now.
I think you're fine.
Okay.
Talk or play, not both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Worf didn't play with them. I think the last time we saw them playing poker. So now we're getting Klingon. How Klingon plays poker.
The last episode we saw was called Manhunt, but this one could have been called Manhunt too. Somebody's definitely hunting for some Klingon man.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I saw some photos. The Klingon woman actually looks, like attractive for a Klingon. I mean, by male, humans.
Well, she's actually half Klingon, half human.
Yep.
So that's why she's more attractive. She's got that human aspect to her.
Maybe I would be into a half human, half dolphin then. Yeah, we need more hybrid species, and then we'll be more loving all around.
They only have one color of chip on this show. Did you notice that?
Yes.
All the chips are
all
the same.
silver.
Oh, damn.
Although he's got some gold ones in his pile there.
It's because
Worf
it's outer
does.
space, and they need you to know that it's outer space, so everything has to be silver.
Oh, okay.
Data's
They have,
croupier's hat has to be future-y because he's the future.
And
Yeah,
do they like sparkles?
What would be funny is if in the future we realize plastic was the most valuable material in the universe, but we just have so much of it that we think it's cheap and worthless. I don't think it's true, but it's just
Well, the value of something is usually based on its scarcity. So as long as it's available, it's not going to be particularly valuable.
The Federation is post-scarcity. They don't even have money, really. They just...
So what when they're playing for these chips, is that just like playing with like fake chips?
Yeah, they don't really understand how money works.
Yeah.
The economy of the Federation is a topic that opens a lot of worm cans that maybe you don't want to open, because it's very difficult to comprehend, because they don't seem to know from one story to the next what
what it's worth
is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
because sometimes they'll like buy stuff, like they'll be down on a planet and they'll say, oh, I think I'm going to buy this. And it's like, okay, so there is some form of like
current.
There is some form of financial like exchange. We just don't know what it is because they don't really ever talk about it. And when they do
Yep.
talk about it, it's very sort of vague and inconsistent. Because sometimes it seems like money is a thing, and then sometimes they're completely baffled by it. Like just in last week's episode, when Picard was in the holodeck, he doesn't have any money to pay the bartender, and he goes, "Dad, I got to remember to bring money when I do these things because."
But part of the joy, or part of the feeling, adrenaline of gambling, is that there's stakes involved, and if the money doesn't mean anything in the future, then are they really pokering?
I mean, they must be playing for something, right?
Yeah,
Maybe they're playing
Friendship.
for
Cigarettes.
Bragging.
Cigarettes. But you get no
they're
cancer.
playing for like holodeck hours or something.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
right.
there you go.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go.
I'll cover your shift on the bridge
Right.
for 10 hours.
You can go
versus-
pretend to be Dixon Hill or whoever.
You can go have sex
think-
with the holodeck whores.
You can go bang your way through ancient Greece if you feel like.
I think you're right, Matt. That makes more sense. Well, give us the specs, Sean. Yeah.
Speaking of banging our way through Greece, the specs on this episode: Season 2, Episode 20, The Emissary. Original air date June 24th, 1989. The Enterprise addresses the emergency of an old Klingon ship coming out of stasis and ready to fight the Federation. A half-human, half-Klingon emissary arrives to help, who once knew Worf intimately.
Ooh, va 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 boom.
Va 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 boom.
That's it. How many other ways can we say that?
Oh,
Everyone should sign-
each
everyone
have our
should do their
interpretation.
Va 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 boom.
Yeah. I think you
Aaron.
gotta.
What do you think the IMDb rating of this episode is?
We'll say a 6.5.
7.
Higher than
Boom Baba.
yes.
I gotta give it a 6.9.
Yeah,
the
that's
time is right.
right.
That's right.
Producer Jacob.
7-2.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5 boom.
7.6,
Ooh.
7.6.5.
which I think is a
Work
little
backstory.
personal.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I think this is a good episode.
This one's got steam heat.
And
coming
there's
on.
actual stakes involved in this one, too.
Jacob had to take a break on this one.
This one feels like another episode where they're just sort of
Ooh,
they're
she's
being
got a-
used as a taxi service.
She's got a cool uniform.
Oh, that is kind of a.
That is a cool uniform.
Right?
I don't think
We
they
don't
ever
see
use
that-
that again.
We don't see that one very often.
Nice. I'm gonna cosplay that one. No, that's too boring. I want to be weird. You're right. I'm still
You can dress
weird.
like one of those fish people
Yeah,
from
see-
the last episode.
You should. Why don't you wear a belly shirt and life jacket?
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't
And
want to be the fish.
You can go to a Star Trek convention and cosplay as yourself from 20 years ago.
There you go. I must have appeared in some episode. I will. No, I would cosplay as the tank of fish or squid or whatever in that episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just smell up the place.
No. I mean, that would
Right.
be committing. Right. That would be bold. I
Like,
don't know if I
who's
would.
the dumbass that brought a bucket of fish into the.
I don't know if
con?
I would have the cojones for that level.
I'm not sure they would let you in if
Yeah.
you walked up with a giant bucket of
Scum.
rotting seafood. And just
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you gotta respect other people's space too. Yeah, their mind space.
you'd have to dress as one of the guys in order to pull that off. You'd have to dress as one of those big tall guys.
No, what you should cosplay is as the bucket of fish. Just show up in a bucket.
Is this person on the helm somebody? Because May was thinking it might be.
She actually, if you watched Mad About You, she was on Mad About You.
Oh, the her.
Yeah, her Anne Ramsey is her name.
Okay.
Yes, Anne Ramsey.
She was in A League of Her Own.
Yep, that's where I remember her from.
Yeah, she plays Helen in A League of Their Own.
Wow, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. Good
Yeah,
movie.
that's a good one.
Classic.
Classic.
I remember seeing that with my grandma. It was really fun.
Oh, that's a sweet one.
I saw that. I saw that with Philippe. We saw
Yeah,
that in the theater. Me and another friend, we'd mentioned him before. He's a listener of the show, Kenyon Strobeck. We have birthdays, 17th, 18th of July. Mine's 17th is 18th. And remember when Denny's used to give free meals on your birthday?
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So we saw League of Their Own, and then at like 11:55 at night, we went so that I could get my free dinner on my birthday, and he could get his free dinner on his birthday as the time changed from the 17th to the 18th.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful idea.
Work that system.
So
That's smart.
They don't do it anymore? That's too bad.
I don't think so.
Or is it just that we don't want to go to Denny's on our birthday?
That would be the last place we choose to go to now.
I don't think there are any. I don't think Denny's is open right now, anyway. But
Anyway, yeah. Denny's is not bad.
They're just not open for sitting down to birthday dinner. Yeah.
There's something about eggs, toast, hash browns, whole fried potatoes. It's hard to get wrong.
Denny's is a perfect 3 a.m. type place to go. You know,
agreed.
Hungover or not necessarily hungover, but coming down,
soaking up your alcohol.
Like big stacks of pancakes, just sucking up the alcohol.
What were you doing? 8 balls or something, Sean? I mean,
Denny's website does have some kind of birthday thing, but you have to sign up to get it. So
they want
I don't know what
data.
I don't know what the actual offer is that you get for your birthday, but they do something.
Okay. I feel like it's probably not as much as before, but I might be wrong. Weird mask. Okay, that's fine. We should all.
There she is.
You're right. Not half bad.
Kaylair.
Oh.
Who plays her?
The actress name is Susie Plaxon.
Still got the Klingon thing going on, but rocking it.
She was in an earlier episode. She played a Vulcan in an earlier episode of this show. And she's in other Star Trek iterations.
She does not act very Klingon.
Yeah, that's
she's
true.
very
She's definitely
smiley.
more the human side of the Klingon, half human.
She's pretty smiley and friendly for your average Klingon.
She really tries to repress her Klingon side. She doesn't like her Klingon side.
You know what? I identify with that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you guys say I've repressed my Klingon side a lot? Oh, how about my Asian side? I've repressed my Asian side a lot.
You repressed your Vulcan side.
No, I feel like that is not true.
No, you would have gone against the logic and into the emotion.
Wow.
Okay, that makes sense.
Man, when you were a kid, did your mother give you like Vietnamese food to take?
Yeah.
School.
Yeah.
Did the other kids think that your lunch was weird?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Have you seen those metal containers that are like stacked and then like you can like combine them into one thing? It was super cool. And my mom was so loving. She still is. You know, God bless her. She would make like a cute little thing. It's almost like a bento box type thing, and we would, she would encourage us to take it, but it felt so like weird and like no other kid had this thing, and
now it'd probably be more.
I'd be like, damn, yeah, this is some fuck. I am noshing here. This is my mom makes great food. She's always been, so yeah. But it's hard because you're trying to fit in. I'm in a totally new country. I'm trying to learn the language. I look different. I sound different. So it was hard. It was those
things look like a miner's lunch.
Yeah, there you go.
Structure.
Exactly.
I was listening to another podcast the other day, and it was the person who was being interviewed. I forget who it was, but she was an Asian lady, and she was saying that like every first generation like Asian kid has a story about their lunch.
Yeah,
because she was telling the story. She was Korean, and she was talking about how she would take like kimchi in her like lunch to school, and the other kids would like make fun of her and say her food was like stinky and stuff.
I'm going to say.
So I was wondering if you had that story, or if May or anybody else has a story.
No, I had that story. Yeah, it's a good question.
I'm going to say something embarrassing. Young Sheldon. That's a plot point on the show. Young Sheldon.
Why is that embarrassing?
because he's
that I
admitting.
watched. That I admit that I watched Young Sheldon.
Oh. Well, I mean, you're a nerd of a sort.
Sean, my parents love Young Sheldon. They think it's great.
I think it's great. I think it's better than Big Bang Theory.
That kid's really talented. The one who
He's
plays
really good. Yeah, he's great. The cast is great in general. Annie Potts plays the grandma. She's awesome.
I love her. Designing women. Always goes back to designing women.
Yeah, the Klingon woman is a designing woman too. She's got fancy threads.
She was throwing it. She was throwing the walk away from Worf.
Yeah.
She's like, "What?
She's like, I hate
I love to see you go."
I was gonna make the same goddamn joke.
Jinx.
Nah,
so
that boat
interesting.
together.
And did you feel like, oh, I don't fit in with the other kids?
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
have peanut butter and jelly or whatever?
Yeah.
Because that your lunch sounds far superior to the other.
It does. Like now thinking back on it, I can't believe I was so embarrassed about it. You know, I think
about it now and you'd be like, look, somebody made me like authentic Vietnamese food.
Yeah,
like
good too, full of TLC, motherly love. She was quite a. She still is quite a woman. You know. Yeah.
And you're just like, I want Lunchables.
Lunchables weren't even invented yet.
Yeah. Another immigration story, like we must have like grown up squatting when we were, you know, going to the bathroom, because I remember being in like, you know, sort of Western style toilets and sort of just squatting on the top of the toilet, sitting and squatting and going to the bathroom that way. And at some point I realized, wait, I think this is weird. This is Western people like sit on this. They don't squat on the toilet. They sit with their butts here and then they put their feet on the ground, and that's how they go about it, you know. But it's funny because nowadays people will have like squatty potties to sort of lift their feet up and sort of make it more comfortable.
No, it's the more natural way to do it.
Yeah. But this way, the immigrant
bad. I feel bad for little men in that story. You had to figure that out for yourself. Like nobody bothered to show you how.
Well, my parents were busy struggling and you know, eking out a living and a lifestyle for 4 kids and themselves. They were working their tuchuses off. So yeah,
but I still think there was probably a minute or two that they could have spared to be like, here's how toilets work in this country.
But maybe they didn't realize, you know. I don't know. I didn't ask my mom, hey mom, are you squatting or are you sitting? You
should go ask your mother.
Whoa, you guys.
Whoa, she became Daredevil.
Yeah, look at her.
Good luck.
I can't go ask my mom how she goes to the bathroom. I mean, maybe I could, but
you're worried they're still doing
it. Just pretend you're doing it in a large.
I just want to know if they still are squatting, or if they ever figured it out.
I think
because maybe this is a story about how it's your fault as a son that you didn't teach them what you learned.
Yes, each one teach one. Come on now, Min Win. Wow. I maybe I should have that conversation.
No, I don't really want you to do that.
No. Okay. Thank you, Matt.
Just make sure you record it for bonus material.
We'll put it on the Patreon.
Yeah. Turn my words back on me. I love it.
So their deal is that they are former lovers. Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. You can feel it. Don't need to explain that. It's palpable.
And why is she there?
So there's a Klingon battleship that was like sent out decades ago, and they were asleep and they're about to wake up, but they don't know that the Federation and the Klingon Empire have signed a treaty. And they're about to wake up and then just go massacre like a bunch of Federation outposts that are in the area. So they're going there to try to stop them. And the theory is that they sent her, they thought maybe she could like talk them out of it. But her whole thing is, it ain't going to work. We're going to have to just shoot them out of the sky. And Picard's like, no, I don't want to do that. So we need to come up with another option.
But Worf's told us that he's turned on by violence, and she's not really employing violence.
She's hiding that aspect of herself.
But see, when Worf was raised by humans, so he is sort of, that because he was around that. He wasn't around Klingons. He was around humans when he was a kid. So I think that's why he sort of has a connection to her, because she kind of understands what he was going through.
Okay, I feel you. What do you think about this relationship, Aaron? Yeah.
I mean, her outfit is great. So. Everything is great in my book. They should get back together.
I do like those hair things. That's different. Captivated. And it does seem like they have tension between them, like a good simmering, broiling thing.
Yeah, the acting's actually really good in this episode between the two of them.
Yeah, it works. I mean, the jumpsuit's doing 75%.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Hey, that's how most good actors, it's all about the costuming.
Right?
Most good dates, honestly. I've just a nice sharp suit or a awesome dress.
So if you were on a blind date, Min, and you walked in and your date was wearing what she's wearing right now, what would your opinion be at that moment in time?
Both impressed and nervous, because it could go a number of ways. Like
that's too much woman for you, man. You can't. You can't ride that coaster. You're not tall enough.
But calm down, because you can't get that suit off. Like, it's impossible.
Oh, I could get that suit off.
I don't know where the zippers are on that thing.
We don't need zippers.
They're not easily identifiable.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, I hope I prove you wrong one day, but maybe you're right.
The cat suits aplenty going on in this scene.
I know. I was like, cat fight.
But Deanna Troi doesn't have a boat in the race, does she?
No.
Well,
she's just trying to be.
Eventually she does, apparently. Spoiler alert.
Oh, it's true. Did we spoil that already?
What? Yeah, we've talked about it.
I'm glad you planted that seed. It's something to look forward to.
But I think
things to look forward to.
I think she feels a kinship to her because she's also half human, half something else.
Yeah, they talk about both being mixed.
And how weird that is in the world, the galaxy.
Wait, are those two gonna get?
Now we're talking.
Oh, hell yeah!
This is her workout uniform. Her workout
calisthenics.
Yeah.
There's a very famous meme that's just a screenshot from this show, and it's a scene where Troi and Dr. Crusher are working out together. They're doing like aerobics or something, and the outfits that they are wearing, their sort of space workout uniforms, are eye-popping. I mean, wait till you see them. It's crazy.
We're going to be like that actor from the last episode.
You're going to be like Gowron. Your eyes are going to bulge. You're going to think there's a problem with your thyroid. Your eyes will bulge so big. You're going to think, I need to have my thyroid looked at.
When you're just like, va, 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 boom.
Your heart's going to start beating out of your chest.
Yep. You're like, ha cha cha.
Ha cha 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 cha. I like that. That was some good callbacks.
The rails have come off.
No, not at all. Just roll down the hill.
I watched a movie that's similar vintage to this show recently. I watched Dirty Dancing again.
They hated each other.
Did they put Baby in the corner?
No.
Like it's changed since it first came
I'm
out.
just curious. Because the last time they didn't do that.
Were you still feeling it, Aaron? Was it still like working for you?
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a perfect movie.
Perfect?
Pretty close for 80s style perfect.
I don't think there's nothing like, I mean, I guess she's supposed to be like a teenager and he's not.
The main message that, I don't know what, like.
The age difference is a little questionable.
That's really the only inappropriate part, though. I think, though.
Okay, but
Oh,
there's a lot of mutual respect going on in that film. There's a lot of like, I respect you because you're like an awesome dancer and you're, trying to like get, rise in status. Whoa, what is this?
yeah, I know, right?
He thinks
These are his calisthenics.
has integrity. Plus, they do hot dancing together. I think
Yeah.
great soundtrack. I was obsessed with that.
Oh yeah, I love that soundtrack.
It does have a great sound.
It's entertaining. I think the chemistry between them is great. Whether they didn't like each other in real life, it does not show on the movie.
Yeah.
That soundtrack has a song by Patrick Swayze.
Hungry
Yeah, it
Eyes.
No,
good.
she's
Like
like
good.
the wind.
And
She's
it's
like-
good too.
Yeah.
That would always get when I would listen to the like soft rocks 80s
Yeah.
on Pandora. She's like the wind would play on it all the time.
Yeah.
See, look, man, look, he's getting turned on by watching her beat
Yeah.
up on guys.
Wow.
She had to show her human side first.
Right.
She's all riled up.
You're turned on right now.
Like, yeah, baby.
Anyway, Dirty Dancing.
Terrific movie.
Recommendations?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty
Play the
Dance.
jingle.
That's a hard recommendation right there.
Yeah.
Recommendation.
Dude, he's got like some 300 blades right there.
Dirty Dancing. Excellent choice.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
How old do you think I have to wait till I can show the kids Dirty Dancing?
Now, come on.
They might like it. I mean, I watched it when I was younger than your kids.
I'm
That's
sure I was younger then. Yeah. When did that come out? 87?
the soundtrack first because that was available and I was like, pretty young, but like I remember my cousin got a hold of a copy and I watched it maybe the summer after it came out. So I watched it when I was like 7 or 8.
But
I mean,
thought the
there's
real-
allusions to doing it, but there isn't like
No, they don't show them. Yeah, it's all
I think
just.
they can handle it.
Do you
there's
think it could get
portion.
dirtier?
Whether they would want to watch it, I have no idea.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. It was like some Skeletor stuff.
Do you think that if they remade Dirty Dancing, they should make it dirtier, or no? That they should
That's
be.
what Philippe said. He thinks there should be a little more doing it because he's like, I would like to see.
Aren't they coming out with a
Oh, a remake?
Well, they did. They
It's a
had the
sequel.
Panda next.
No, but I mean like they're doing like
Another one.
another one that's actually a sequel to
Oh,
Dirty Dancing with the character.
here's some Dirty Dancing.
So,
Oh.
I said, like, if I could bring one thing back from the dead, it'd be Peter Thomas, the beloved narrator of Forensic Files. I don't know. if I've
Yes.
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 Yep.
I'm gonna add one more thing to that list. I would
Yeah.
bring back Jennifer Grey's Nose, her original.
Oh, yes.
It was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Ruined her career.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a lot of sniffing when it comes to
Ooh.
Klingon foreplay.
Hmm.
Very Musk oriented.
Yeah.
They're having.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh,
Now it's like
okay.
a
That-
prayer or something.
They're exchanging bodily fluids
Blood mostly.
through their hand.
Oh, gosh. This is.
I think Worf's cologne would be called Targ Sweat.
and that's what it would smell like.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just straight up no nonsense.
So do you think that jumpsuit's like forgiving? Like it kind of has like inbound spanks? Like,
Like a little padding.
or do you
something.
think like
It does look
I'm
like she has shoulders.
asking you guys whether it's too late for me to try something like that?
I don't know. She was like crouching pretty easily there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has some flexibility to it.
Oh.
It looks like.
So you're saying that's what you're going to? That's your cosplay choice for when
Or
we
you're
go to
just talking
Star
in
Trek
general.
Con?
You're going to start walking around in cat suits.
Yeah, I think it's just her life choice.
I mean, it's supposed to be workout clothes.
I
So it's
would
probably
support
very spandexy and yoga panty.
It's space legging.
I mean, she has to be able to murder dudes in it, so she has to be able to move around.
This was a great scene, by the way, because her human
The
side
post-
is just
the
like,
post-coital
what? We hooked
moment.
up. Let's just move on with our lives.
Yeah.
But Worf's not having it.
Well, he's deeply emotional because he doesn't open up enough.
He's a little more bitchy. Like, He's a moodier guy.
Worf is moody, like
Yeah.
for sure. Worf has a complicated inner life, and he gets a little moody sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
There he goes.
Yeah, well,
There
you
we
got to do that after you bone.
Whoa, made it.
He's trying to trap her.
Where's that ring?
This is like cutting a hole in the
You
contract.
guys, we've got a stage 5 Klingon here.
Oh no.
One night together, and he wants to make
Yeah.
it for keeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
See, I slept through all of this, so I'm very sad. Didn't want to watch this.
well, now you're watching it with
Good
us.
stuff
So
right
because
here.
they banged, Worf's like, now we're married.
Yep,
Now we
that's
are
basically what he said. That's what we do.
And she's like, dude, chill. I'm half
It's like
human.
that.
Just
This is
move
like
on.
that old.
It was-
This is like that old joke about what lesbians do on the third date. Do you know this joke?
Right, move in.
Move in.
Yeah, they rent a
What
U-Haul.
do lesbians bring on their third date? The U-Haul.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours, not mine. Not mine.
Oh.
I said.
He did it again. What
Like,
a-
sorry, Charlie.
Yeah.
He can shout in Klingon as loud as he wants. She's not
Yeah.
going to marry him.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do it,
dude.
Kaylar.
Yeah, this is a Beyonce independent woman.
This is so
moment.
funny.
Yeah,
Worf
that's
is
right.
the stereotypical girl in this situation.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like,
He's like,
Well,
we
up
had
there.
sex, and that means it,
we have to
has
get
to mean
married. It
something.
has to mean something that we had sex.
and she's
Yeah.
like, dude, it was a one-nighter. Thanks anyway.
She's like, thanks for
Oh,
the
in the background,
good memories.
Diedrich Bader.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Familiar?
I was looking at the IMDb about this, and did anybody else? His character's name on the Drew Carey show was anybody remember?
Mm-mm.
No.
Gordon.
His name was Oswald, and I looked it up, and his full name is Oswald Lee Harvey.
Nice.
Oh.
Was his full name on that show?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I never really watched that show.
I really liked that show
Yeah.
up until a point, and then it really turned me off.
I like that it was in the Midwest.
Lee Harvey Oswald, he murdered JFK, or he was like,
Correct.
yeah, why?
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
okay.
job, man.
Well, I have too many technical.
You remember that
facts
episode
in
of
my head.
Quantum Leap when Sam leapt into Lee Harvey
it's
Oswald?
like you were just that felt like a 7th grade history like
Well,
quiz question.
I'm, with me, you know.
No, I was in the way that like I was like, yeah, good for me. remember.
Why would you memorialize a killer? Well,
Front and to the back.
yeah.
You have a hard time with names, Min.
I
You
do.
have a hard
I do.
time with people's
Yeah,
names.
yeah. For me, it's more important that I have my computer together and I know how to make things happen and produce things. I'm not such I'll remember that this actor was in this movie and.
So you're saying you use your brain power for important things.
No,
Yeah.
they're not important things.
Whatever.
No.
You know
mean
what,
you don't?
man?
You mean you don't know?
That's
in
why I
detail
get the
the
connect.
career of
Yeah.
That's why I get the all connects on the first.
There you go.
Yes.
I love when we
you
get-
don't know you don't know Meredith Baxter Burney's entire filmography backwards and forwards the way I do.
But different people have different passions, so I think that's all totally valid, and I can appreciate all of that. Do you have a Only Connect for us, Matt? Yeah.
I have some. We could do some
Yeah.
Only Connects. I have some recommendations since we played
Oh.
Jingle.
Yeah.
I watched this show. I've been watching this show on BBC. I'm watching it on Amazon. It's called Upstart Crow. It's about young Shakespeare. It's a sitcom, and it's really funny.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really fun sitcom. It's kind of like Shakespeare in Love, only it's not a romantic comedy. It's like a straight up like goofball sitcom, and it's all about how
workplace comedy.
it's more about how Shakespeare is sort of a bumbler who he knows that he's a genius, but no one else believes in him. So he's always sort of getting into arguments with Christopher Marlowe about who's a better playwright. It is much funnier than I'm making it sound. You have to take my word for it, but it's really
Cool.
good.
And it's called Young Crow?
It's called Upstart Crow.
Upstart Crow. Okay. Upstart Crow. Interesting. Well, we are big Shakespeare nerds, so yeah, that'd be interesting.
I've been reading the books of you guys know the character Parker? He's in like he's in all these like mid 60s and 70s like books, right? Like film noir type, but novels. There's like 100 of them. They made a ton of movies about him over the years. Anyway, I've been reading those in series because there's like 1 million of them, but they're super short. They're like 150, 200 pages, you know, and they're all just like pure story. Parker's like a badass. He's like a professional thief, and he just goes around and pulls heists, and they're really good books. So I've been reading the Parker books.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of the Parker books. They're older, yeah?
Yeah, they're from like the 60s.
Interesting.
The first one's called The Hunter. They made that movie Point Blank out of it that Lee Marvin was in back in the late 60s.
Oh, yeah. Donald Westlake, for sure.
They're all very...
I used to work at a library, so like I kind of knew, because I had to shelve the books, I kind of knew like popular fiction. Yeah, Donald Westlake, for sure. Like
Anyway.
romantic books and a lot of mysteries and a lot of like,
Yeah, these are like straight up crime books.
This
like,
is a lot of them. So yeah, you end up
not a good
familiar
character.
with
Like he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But
Payback. The movie
Payback
is based on one of his novels.
they've adapted a lot of them over the years into various movies.
Definitely.
Jason Statham was in a version called Parker.
Yeah, definitely. Right on.
Made in USA, which was directed by Jean-Luc Godard. Boy, I'll bet that's fucking weird movie.
That's got to be a weird one. I watched a movie called Underwater that is about, it's basically Alien, but underwater. Kristen Stewart is the star of it.
Yes, yeah.
It was really surprisingly good. Now,
Yeah,
it may
it's
just be that
entertaining.
my standards are low after 9 months in lockdown.
Amen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good job done.
And you also didn't pay for it.
Yeah, it was on HBO Max, I think, and it was perfectly entertaining. Like, I think Kristen Stewart is a movie star. Like, she should be in big, huge movies. But she likes to make little, weird, independent French movies, which are also really good. But then every once in a while, she does like a schlocky thing for the money or whatever. And Underwater is very much a schlocky thing, but it's really entertaining, and she's very good. She's the Ripley. And it's just fun watching her do kind of a Sigourney
Action-y
Weaver
thing.
cosplay.
What's that holiday movie that she was just in? Best holiday?
Happiest season.
Happiest season.
Oh yeah, she's in the lesbian Christmas movie that's on. But I don't have Hulu, so I haven't watched that. I did watch. There are 2 gay ones this year that were. One was on Lifetime, and one I think was on Hallmark. And those were both pretty fun.
I watched Jaws for the first time.
Ooh, speaking of underwater.
Yeah.
And
Did you say for the first time?
I've seen clips, like I've seen
You
bits.
just had never watched it
I've
all the
never,
way through.
snout to tail or whatever.
I watched High School Musical for the first time all the way through.
Yeah.
Zac
High School
Efron has
Musical
come a
3
long way.
High School Musical 3 is the best of those 3.
I used to watch this. I had a neighbor who was like a teeny bopper at the time. And so I watched those with her when they were like at the
I
height.
find it fascinating that the first 2 movies of that in the series were straight to TV Disney Channel movies.
Yep.
But the third one they actually released in theaters.
Yeah. Well,
And it was the best of the
It
series.
is the best. Well, they spent the most money on it. That's for sure.
Okay.
So it looks the best. But I also
that's
think
it.
it's got.
I'm done with my recommendations. What else you got? We got Jaws.
There was I watched.
We got High School Musical.
I watched an episode of The Simpsons the other day, and Ben Platt did a voice.
Oh,
nice.
And at the end of it, Ben Platt and Yardley Smith, he was playing like a kid sort of rival to Lisa, but she was also sort of in love with him. And at the end, they did a version of "Anything I Can Do, You Can Do. I Can Do Better," or anything, whatever that song is.
Yeah.
They did a version at the end. It was really cool.
Cool.
And speaking of Hallmark movies, the last Simpsons episode was about a person who produces Hallmark movies producing a Hallmark movie in Springfield, and the storyline was also a Hallmark movie storyline.
A lot of meta.
She was living her own version of a Hallmark movie storyline where the sort of, the rich person from out of town comes to this small town and falls in love with the small town man.
But yeah. People
Look at Worf. Why is Worf all dressed up?
Well, they're convincing this crew that they're part of the Federation, that the Klingons won the war, and so they don't need to
shoot on them.
That's the crew that's been frozen all this time?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So they had to pretend to be the captain of the Enterprise to convince.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Aaron, did you ever end up watching Last Christmas?
I was just gonna say, I was just looking at that. I think I'm gonna watch it soon because it seems timely.
Holidays.
Yeah, sure. I just came across the little device you gave me, so yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
I need some George Michael in my life.
I gotta, Matt. Have you seen
the one good thing about that movie? Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
You'd be probably the only one that would have seen it. Have you seen Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk?
No, I have not.
No. Wow, that sounds like a weird movie.
It does sound like a weird movie.
Has anybody else heard of this movie?
It's like a soldier coming back from the war, right?
Yeah, it was filmed by Ang Lee, and it was filmed in 120 frames per second.
Huh.
Okay.
So it looks like you're looking at a mirror. Not a mirror, like through a window. Like it doesn't look like it's so realistic. When you saw it, it was jarring. They said, I was listening to a podcast about it, and they were talking about how you could almost tell that the actors were acting, you could tell that the actors were acting because you could see their faces so easily.
Yeah.
What's the normal speed?
24.
24.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a very disconcerting experience to watch film at that frame rate.
Well, they, because everyone made a big, when The Hobbit was done in 48 frames per second, and everyone was saying how it looked so weird because your mind couldn't handle it. Now triple that. That's what they decided to do.
Damn, something to try.
And it was like most theaters couldn't even show it.
There were two theaters that could show it, one in LA and one in New York.
Because most theaters don't even have the equipment that you need.
Because it was also filmed in 3D.
Right.
It was 320 frames per second.
Because he did the same. He did the same thing with Gemini Man. I just watched that, but I just watched it on my regular TV, so I didn't see it. You
filmed that in 120 frames per second.
Yeah, he filmed that in 3D. Wow. Super high frame rate, high definition. But I didn't. I just watched it on my regular TV, so it just looked like a normal movie.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It's a good movie.
It seemed interesting.
I like I like all of Ang Lee's, all the ones that I've seen. I haven't seen all of his movies, but I'll even stick up for Hulk.
Really?
I saw that in the theaters.
I think Hulk is an amazing film.
Interesting.
Now, there's more than one movie about the Incredible Hulk, so which one are you?
Was the Eric Bana one the first one they did?
Okay. Because there is more than one, right? I get confused.
Yes, there are two.
Yeah.
It's two.
If you don't count all the TV movies that they made when...
If you don't count Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, the Lou Ferrigno TV
movies. There's two contemporary,
one with Eric Bana and one with Edward Norton.
That's what I thought.
The Edward Norton one is technically part of the MCU.
And now he's Mark Ruffalo in the Marvel movies. So it's
the character that Ed Norton played in.
There's been 3 different Hulks in the last 20 years.
But there were 2 movies focused on Hulk. That's what I was referring to. Yeah.
You're right.
And now there's the Disney Plus TV show She-Hulk. Wow.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. With
Tatiana Maslany, baby.
Oh, was she in the Clones?
Orphan
Black.
Yeah, Orphan Black. Oh my God, she was so good in that.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
recommendation
now
for me.
she's playing She-Hulk.
Mhm. Wow.
Everyone's favorite lawyer.
Interesting.
So what happened? They've gone their
They
separate-
reconcile.
Yep. She's like, I gotta be me, baby.
Yeah.
But they
I'm
resolved.
a
They
Rolling
resolved.
Stone carries no moss.
Yeah.
But they
Worf.
resolved the problem together. So
Yes,
they parted
yeah.
on. They parted on good terms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Because they
let it
worked
go.
together. They figured out how to work together.
They
Does she come back? She comes back, right?
Yeah, well,
I-
she's the
so I-
baby mama.
Is she
Spoiler
Worf's
alert.
baby mama?
Baby mom.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if this is when she got pregnant during
Oh,
this
okay.
episode. The events of this episode is what impregnated her. But yeah, when she comes back, little Brian Bonsall.
Oh. Does she come back for Deep Space Nine or for Next Gen?
No, Next Generation.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting. Cool.
Ooh, it's one of those fucking Packleds again, or whatever they are. Sorry, the next episode
Next
started.
episode start.
On
Yeah.
my screen.
Oh. Hmm. Well, we've got a in between season movie coming up, guys. Not too far away,
I think
right?
Matt's plan from last. I think it's a good idea. I think we should go with that.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we could watch Wonder Woman. I was
And
also
do-
thinking. I was also thinking about
The first one?
No,
No, the new one.
the new one.
That was your idea.
Is that my idea?
I was thinking about. I was also thinking about Star Wars, like watching a Star War, just to be
Sure.
like, out of our
The Star Trek universe.
yeah, like
Just to like confuse me permanently. I can just-
just because the Star Trek versus Star Wars thing is such a thing that it would be fun to watch a Star War.
Yeah.
Watch
but
the
I'm fine.
holiday special.
I'm fine with watching. We could watch the holiday special.
The holidays.
Yeah.
That sounds like a better plan than it actually is.
Yeah,
It's not. It's not even entertaining in a bad way, unfortunately.
What is it?
That's exactly right. Sean's
What are you talking about?
the Star Wars.
The Star Wars holiday special,
Ew.
which literally got canceled halfway through its airing. Like
They just-
George Lucas literally drove to the studio and tried to get them to stop showing it after
that's
the first
awesome.
commercial break.
What
it
year
was
was
so
that?
It was in the 70s,
Yeah.
late 70s. This is
78.
right after the
It was
movie.
the year after
like-
Star Wars came out.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It's got B. Arthur.
It's Stan has a copy of it on.
You said it has B. Arthur.
Yeah, she's in it, and Harvey Korman.
Sings a song
You guys
about.
are doing a good job convincing me not to watch this. Like,
This is
Like
the
I
problem.
said,
This is
it
the
all
problem.
sounds like
When
it
you-
would be a lot more entertaining than it actually is.
When you hear about it, it sounds insanely
Amazing.
entertaining,
Hmm.
right? In a terrible way. But Sean's
Yeah.
exactly right. You start every year. Stan pulls out his
You watch it, and you're like,
DVD, and we're like, "Hey, this will be funny. Let's get drunk and watch the Star Wars holiday
Nope.
special." And it's such a slog to
Yeah.
get through that it's not even campy. I mean, it's super campy, but it's not campy in a way that's entertaining to watch.
the
Yeah,
first
it's funny how good
15
that is.
minutes, I shit you not, the first 15 minutes is all spoken in Chewbacca language,
no.
and there is
Subtitles.
no
Exactly. They
subtitles.
sound just
There's
like
no
that.
subtitles.
There's no subtitles, so you have
Oh,
no idea what they're saying. You're just watching
Well, you
these.
could have fun with
Wookiee-
that.
It's all a bunch of Chewbacca Wookiee family, Chewbacca's family, and they're just chattering away at each other in Wookieese, but you have no idea what they're saying because there's no subtitle.
Have
The
the
best
mystery.
scene in it. The best scene in it is the B. Arthur scene.
Yes, the bar.
Although
She sings
I
the
don't
song.
think I've ever actually made it to the end. So maybe there's something better after her. But
It does
I
not
think
get that. That actually is the best. It goes way downhill after that scene.
Aaron, she plays a bartender in like a stupid Star Wars bar. You know, there's a bunch of aliens sitting around,
Yeah.
and it's like last call, so she has to like hustle everybody out the door,
Yeah, she's
And
basically
then
singing
she
last
sings-
call.
and then she sings a song about like her life as a barmaid on Tatooine or whatever planet that's the one good moment in it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad my conversation can at least inspire this conversation, or my suggestion inspired this conversation.
I think the new Wonder Woman movie is the perfect idea.
yeah. It'll be good to do a movie that just came out.
Mhm.
People might actually listen to the
I
episode.
get some listens. Hey, listen.
How about that?
So I'm looking forward to that.
That's what
Cannot
you're going
wait.
for.
Do you want to do a connect, or do we want to close the show?
I mean, the episode's been over for 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's just.
Thank you all very much for listening to Warped, and please go to iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, to rate, review, and subscribe. You can email us at warpedthepodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at Warped Trek. You can follow me at Host Warped. Follow Min to learn about our Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu live streams and podcasts at Wet Maynard. We're on Instagram at Warped the Podcast, and our merch is on Instagram at lunar_flare. Best and most importantly, you can go to Patreon, become a subscriber, and get access to bonus material and additional episodes. Unless anybody has anything else to say, my name is Matt.
I'm Sean.
I'm Jake.
Aaron.
Mean.
Not me.
Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.